We shall always fight our victory and victory for victory and victory for. Let us go for Nigeria. Let us go forward. Never go backward. Never in a struggle for Nigeria. There is Africa is solidarity, revolution.
I am here in my capacity as a friend and a comrade to Sowore. I was here last year, and it's 12 months now. We are back to the same venue. I'm here to join millions of Nigerians and other Africans to celebrate and appreciate the life and struggle of Comrade Sowore. Sowore is a friend. He's a faithful friend. He's a man who will always identify with you in times of need. He's a man who will always stand for you when you need him. He's a man who will always fight for you. And he's a man who will always defend you at your weakest moment in life. If you are in government, you are likely to see Sowore as an enemy, as an adversary. But don't fight him, don't crush him, because you will need him after power. For those who are in government today, you may find Sowore very uncomfortable in things he says and things he do. You will find his words bitter. You will find his words poisonous. You may find things he does as toxic, maybe because you are in power. But Sowore will come and you'll find him useful the day you are out of power. When people are in power, they forget that the position they are occupying is temporary. They forget that the authority they are exercising is ephemeral. They forget that tomorrow will come. Many of those who are today in jail or being prosecuted or who are claiming to be persecuted were yesterday's men in power who think they were gods, they were lords, and they were untouchable, like an ordinary person. And at that time, you are going to be at the mercy of those in power. When people are in power, they are usually intoxicated by the levers of power, by the resources which is available to them at any time, and also by the fact that they can do and undo. But you need to see them that they are simply ordinary human beings the day they are out of power. So for Sowore, he is an activist that has kept the tradition of activism since in the 80s, the 90s, and to date. The message is that, what does he gain by always being arrested, always being prosecuted, always being haunted by a society that is not ready to stand up and defend its rights and challenge those in the authority and on power. It's a fact of history that those who will stand in the defense of truth and justice and sacrifice their life, they are always an insignificant few. The masses of the people will always be, and most times be, on the side of those in power. But what makes him win always is the fact that what he stands for, what he believes in, and what he is fighting for is justice. Don't think that where the majority are is always where justice is. The majority can be in the wrong place, out of fear or out of thinking they are going to benefit from what is on the order. The country we are living in today is a nation that has always moved from one crisis to another. And one of the factors militating against people uniting to fight for their rights are diverse. One fundamental factor is ethnicity. When the person in the position of authority and power is from your ethnic group, people keep quiet. People are silent. They don't stand up to challenge him. They don't stand up to tell him the truth. And they don't fight him because he is from their ethnic group. If you have a Buhari in power, you will have opposition from the southwest, southeast, and south-south. If you have a Yoruba man in power, you will have an opposition from the southeast, north, and part of the south-south. One day, if you have a southeasterner in power, the whole of southeast will become pro-government, and other parts of the country will start fighting. That is where a person like Sowore differs. Sowore will come out today and attack Tinubu, and the supporters of Peter Obi will be happy. Before you finish being happy, he will attack Peter Obi, and the supporters of Tinubu will be happy. Before you know that, he has attacked Atiku, and the northerners will not be happy. So Sowore is a kind of man, if you are clapping for him, you have to be very careful. Don't clap too much. Before you turn back to your own tribesman. So that is what he is. When he attacks Tinubu, you see, he becomes a hero in the north among many people. And he becomes a hero among the southeasterners. By the time he turned his weapon against Trump, and then you see those who are clapping at him and now start insulting him. You see, before you count yourself as a critic, as an activist, I always say you have to test the prison. If you have never been in a cell, you have never been in prison, you have never worn a handcuff, you are still in 100 level. So, for those of us, for somebody like me,
I have been in my life, I have been in Kaduna prison, I have been in Kirikiri prison, I have been in Port Harcourt prison, I have been in Aba prison in Abia State. I have spent about 4 years in prison. I have all handcuffed and lectured. So you cannot lecture me on democracy or on human rights. So when I see someone like Sowore or Deji, specifically Sowore, is always going to the court. You see, reading something is not the same as being experiencing it yourself. Until you have a date to which you will go to court before you know the mental torture associated with that. Many of you are passing by. You're hearing Kuje, Kuje, Kuje. You have never been there. You don't even know what is there. So if you are on social media, if you are an activist, please try to know the prison that is in your own city. Visit it. Be used to the people inside the prison. On Sunday, take food to them. Let them be used to you before you just appear there.
A round of applause for this.
Because you don't know. You don't know that. I can remember in 1995, that time, that's about 30 years ago, when they took us to Kirikiri prison. When we entered, for a person like Obasanjo, who was one of my casemates at that very time, that was the first time coming into a prison and see what it is. Like, you know that Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto prison. You see, I can tell you everything that happens from in the morning up to the night, what happened in prison. You don't know. If you are newly admitted, you'll be taken to the record office for your name to be recorded. They will bring you and read you the law. And they will give you your blanket and your plate. And they will now move you. Then you stand. Then you will see prisoners will be scrambling for you that bring him to my cell. This one bring him to my cell. This one bring him to my cell. If you look like Deji, they think you have some money. So people will be scrambling that bring him to our own cell, please. By the time you are brought to their cell, they will show you this is the president, this is the ministers, these are the special advisors that are all here. Yes, this is the IG. And they will read the law to you. And there will be tax which you have to be paying. You see, all these things here you don't know. Some of you are only, when you post something on social media and then you are arrested, you go there and you start crying. Only one day. I spent 4 years there. You just go to a police station, then you start hashtagging, free this, free that. Spend at least 1 week and know the place. Why do you want to come out? Before you know, you have rushed to the Amnesty International people there. Free this, free that. So all of you on social media, please try to visit the inmates. If you are from Akwa Ibom or from Enugu, please ask them where is the prison. Just ask for the prison governor. And take some food to them and tell them that you are the person who brought the food. Let them see your face. The day they brought you here, you are already a king. So this is one of the persons who has been helping us. So my own position is that One of the reasons why in this country people cannot come together to fight is ethnicity. People are so attached to their ethnicity to the very point that they don't speak out when their own are in power. There are a lot of questions as far as this country is concerned, which we should be able to find answers to. But for someone like Sowore, he is unhinged when it comes to speaking his mind, challenging authority. The incidents he was making reference to was that they found a young boy, a young baby, and I took custody of it. So when I took custody of it, the baby was in an orphanage. Sowore went to the social media and said the baby looks like me. And my wife was part of everything from the beginning to the end. But when Sowore persisted, she said, come. I said, but it's me and you that we went, and he said, yes, but look at what they are saying. So which one are you going to listen to? Is it that of Sowore or myself? He said, but this is what they say. I said, okay. So if they said it, what happened? That is the problem. So distinguished comrades, Sowore is a man whom you sit down and think, how does he do all these things here? And how does he have the courage and the spirit of fighting off? Because if persons like you will have one case and you are destabilized, you can imagine someone who every week he has a case in Federal High Court. FCT, he has a case with police, he has a case with this DSS, he has a case with army, he has a case with defamation. Nobody knows number of defamations that he has. You can hardly see him for 7 days without a problem. When you ask him, how do you? Because many comrades that he was fighting along with in the 90s, all of them have gotten fed up. Sometimes you will see Deji, he will say he will never fight for anybody again. So how does he sustain himself on all these things here? There is nobody in this country occupying position of authority and power that doesn't know who Sowore is. How can somebody having a thriving media and can go to live in United States in comfort and in peace, still here, standing up for something, fighting for something? Because if many are privileged to be in his position, nobody is going to take up that cause. So Sowore, we started this struggle together, but there are many comrades who were in jail together with you, who fought with you, but we can only watch you and pray for you now. When we used to go to prison, almost on a daily basis, we were not married then, and we don't have much children. But now, we have to be very watchful, in the very sense that the society we live in should also complement those who are fighting. Because how can someone organize a protest in defense of the interests of the police, and you'll always see him being taken to court by the police? So, we pray for you And we pray that those comrades around you who have remained faithful in your dark days and bad days shall continue to give you that moral solidarity and support to strengthen you. Because you cannot imagine a country without Sowore. How silent is going to be, how docile is going to be, how inactive is going to be. Without Sowore speaking. So he is like a one-man army. And sometimes you wonder, when he called out for the protest, you will think that you will see hundreds of thousands of people on his side. You see a couple of people, which shows you that it's not always that majority are on the side of justice. Many people prefer to suffer the consequences of injustice than stand up and fight for it. But there will always be, where you have a Pharaoh, there will always be a Moses. And Sowore has proven over the years to be a man, a conscience of the nation and the moral compass of this country. One who will say things which others are afraid of saying, and will go to places where people are afraid of going. He does not only discomfort people in power, but he discomforts those who are claiming to be fighting people in power. Because he will go extra mile to where those who want to challenge authority cannot go, or are afraid to go, or are hypocritical about it. Sowore, we thank you for your life, and we don't pray for a day that you will have the doubts of Deji. We don't pray for a day that you will give up the struggle. Deji is a friend who has always stood for what Sowore stands for. Even lawyers. Sometimes you wonder whether Marshall is a defense counsel or is part of the crime. Because everything Sowore is saying, he is always saying the same thing. So, Marshall, one day, you may end up, just like the way they picked the lawyer of Nandi, you may end up also being picked. So I wish you all the best, and we hope and pray that the younger generation you are molding and you are inspiring will be able to fight like you. Thank you very much, and God bless.